Welcome to Just Chat Podcast, where
It's not that I want you here. It's not the way you say to my eyes.
I'm here to talk to you about any and everything like I always do. Yes, I'm here to share that lovely love with you like I always do. Like I say, I'm over here repeating myself, but I'm just here to show that great love like anybody else would show me. And that's just what I'm here to do. I hope that you guys love the new vibe that I'm giving with the colors here and there, and a little plant greenery. This is my new palm tree. You really can't see her, but you can see her hair. This is Monica, named after the artist Monica. That's why she is. I gotta get her together. She's asking for a little water today. I'm gonna give her some water before I go to bed. But yes, this is the new vibe I'm giving. I'm loving it. I hope that you guys love it. You ladies and guys love it. Also, I just want to thank all my lovely subscribers and my newcomers, because if you're watching this, go ahead and subscribe and turn on your post notifications. And that goes for my other subscribers too. But turn on that post notification so you can get alerted whenever I post a podcast video or anything in any kind of nature, because I also do YouTube shorts and you can also catch those, and I'll throw one in here. And I'm just an all-around guy. But I also want to tell you is I'm still doing my 500 subscriber milestone giveaway. That's a lot to say, but yes, I'm doing a 500 subscriber milestone giveaway where I'm giving out $250. The only thing that you have to do is be a subscriber, like, comment, and always, for an extra entry, always post the emoji of the video, which will be at the end, so I know you watched it. But hey, that's all you gotta do to win. I'm gonna go back through all my videos and look who's been supportive, look who's posted those emojis of the videos. I'm gonna pick you, put you in a raffle, and pull the name out, and I will reach out to you and let you know. And also, I don't know if I'm gonna do it on live. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on not only on my podcast or YouTube short. So you definitely have to be looking out for that. So please subscribe and turn on those post notifications so that you know that I posted another lit ass video. I just thought I added that in there because that would be a little cute. But I said what I said, like I always say. I don't probably said that like twice already. Shoot, I'm back. Okay, I remember what I was about to say. But thank you for tuning into this video, because as you can see, we're talking about being defensive, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with being too defensive. Now, I could be an advocate and say, and I'm being an advocate on being defensive, which was crazy, but I can say that I'm a very defensive person, especially when it's coming down towards my feelings. And sometimes it comes off as if I'm an asshole. And I'm really not. I just don't like when somebody is attacking my character in a way of disrespect. Now, being defensive can be a good and a bad thing. And a lot of people don't agree with that. Some people just say that it's strictly a bad thing. I don't know many people that says, oh, being defensive is good. No, it's not. You just need to, if you say that being defensive is strictly a good thing, no, you just need to learn what boundaries is and set those with people. Yeah, that's basically what I can say about that. But I can say boundaries, and I'm contradicting myself because I'm saying it could be a good and a bad thing. Because you can be defensive towards somebody else for someone. Like, you could be like, Billy Bob Jean may not speak, but you gonna talk for Billy Bob Jean and call somebody else out on that shit because you're being defensive for your relationship, your friendship, your familyship, all that. Give me 1 second, people. I'm back. But yes, you can be defensive for other people, and that's the way that it can be a good thing. Now, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the bad. I'm gonna be real with y'all because I do feel like sometimes I am very defensive, even just having a regular conversation. But sometimes I feel like people just don't listen, and they feel like they know you. And when they feel like they know you, you can't change their perception of who you are as a person, because you know who you are. But when people see you do certain things or talk a certain way or listen to what you say, they're gonna look at you in a different light. So that is like the bad thing about being defensive. Because if you're defensive 24/7 and you're coming off as an asshole, or you're coming off a little dull or dry or whatever you want to call it, it can assassinate your own character, and you could be the one that's doing that because you're like, oh no, I'm a very happy person. I like to do this, I like to do that. And then people don't really know that because you always defending what somebody got to say. If somebody tell you, well, you just a little off, you a little slow, you be like, oh, nah, I ain't fucking slow, I'm just I'm going through something. Don't be defensive. Don't defend something that you don't have to defend. If you know you're not slow, if you know you're not dull, if you know you're not anything in a negative type of way that you know you'll feel some kind of way about, don't give it no attention. Because when you give people attention, they feed off that energy, because you're not only pouring in to that negative energy they're giving you, even if it's not negative energy. If you're pouring into something that somebody else says, evidently it is true, because you like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I do that sometimes. Now, I can be a hit dog hollering, but sometimes you just gotta zip it. If you zip it and just let people run their mouth, and then when they done talking, you be like, okay, I understand where you coming from. I can understand that. That's how you looking at me, and by the choice of words that I have said, that's what you got from. I feel like ways that we can, which I am talking about, ways that we can stop being defensive is learning to be one with yourself. Always be one with yourself and be true to who you are as a person. If you're not true to yourself, then you're gonna constantly defend who you are as a person, because you probably like, I'm this nice person, I've always been this nice person. You don't have to tell nobody you're nice. You don't have to tell nobody you're clean. You don't have to tell nobody nothing. You just have to show people better than not showing. I learned that from watching Love and Hip Hop. Tahiri, if y'all know Tahiri, who dated Joe Budden, she told Joe, show and prove. Show and mother prove. That's all you gotta do. You gotta show and prove. And I live by that. Me and my mom used to watch it all the time, and we live by that ever since then. And I feel like you have to show and prove somebody something. Show and prove them not something. Show them and prove them that you're not defensive. Learn to take that criticism well and use it as feedback. If somebody's telling you you are being a kind of way, just be like, okay, I understand that. I'm gonna work on that. Because if you work on it, you're fighting to make the change. And nobody can never stop you from making that change, because you're making effort to be a better person. If somebody come back to you and tell you, oh, you're not doing a good job, how you gonna tell me what I'm doing? Be like, well, okay. Just be like, okay. But then again, this is where I say defensive can be good, because people will try to talk down or still kind of be negative about something, especially if they know you made the change and you have done something better for yourself. Some people You got to be a little defensive with them because you got to be like, wait a minute, wait. Now, I was being quiet about 2 weeks or a month ago, 3 months ago when you first told me that, and I took the feedback. I don't even do that to you no more. You can't say that. You blatantly are just lying on me. You're being a hypocrite. You are being one-sided, one-track mind. You only focus on one thing. But that's not the case. Sometimes you do have to speak up. And that's why I said sometimes it can be a good thing because sometimes you gotta defend yourself. Don't overly do it because when you overly do it, then somebody gonna look at you like, what the hell going on? What you got going on? Like, explain to me what is going on so that I can understand. Because if you're not explaining nothing, then nobody knows. Something that I see that a lot of YouTubers do in a good way, sometimes you can see people will block a comment, delete a comment, or respond. And I feel like with that type of situation, when you're on social media or you have your own page that you are pushing and people come and point out the obvious, sometimes you do have to be defensive and be like, okay, out of all the million videos that you done swiped over on YouTube or swiped across on TikTok or whatever, Instagram, Snapchat, you chose this one video to talk about. Like, prime example, and I think I kind of thought about this when I did it, after I did it, somebody commented on one of my videos and talked about this little bitty white spot. Now, y'all, it just came from my deodorant. I had got an idea of a video. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna use my shirt for some hair. And I'm in the mood and I'm living in the moment. I'm having fun. I didn't think nothing about it. Now, this video's been up for about 2 to 3 months. And somebody finally commented, it's the spot on the underwear for me. First of all, girl, that ain't even no underwear. If you gonna talk junk, please have the fact. Because if you don't, then you look retarded. Secondly, I'm having fun just like everybody else. If you want to be negative, go be negative on the negative people post. Like, why are you? Well, just why? Let me be free. Let me be me. Because if you don't allow me to be me, then you're blocking your own blessings because you just putting yourself in a little ball and you think, well, to be lit and to be that bitch, you got to talk about something, but you don't. And that's why I feel like sometimes you do have to be defensive with people because people get it twisted. They hide behind computers, they hide behind phones, they hide behind these screens and talk a lot of junk. But really and truly, they know they're not that kind of person. They just playing follow the leader like all the other, what they call those people? Cloud chasers. It's just like everybody else. Like, sometimes you just gotta know when to just be like, that's what you gotta know to do. And it can be hard because you be wanting to be like, okay, I want to be a good person without being rude. Now, this is what I'm gonna touch on, and we got a few more minutes before I end this video. I'm just playing. But being defensive can definitely mess up your character. Because if you say the wrong words, which I said that before, and I'm talking more on it, but if you say the wrong words, then you can mess up a lot of things in your life. Like your boss at work can be like, oh, you should do this, fold the papers this way, and this will make it go by faster, and this is how we always do it, and it's a part of our system. But when you go in to change that system because you feel like you have a better way of doing it, and maybe that system might not work, and this job goes by this system because that's how this system works. If you decide to fold that paper the opposite way of what they said, it may not fit in that book, and it could cause issues with the driver. Y'all, I'm tired to talk about my own job, But I can use that as an example. But when I used to work night shift for my job, there's a system to everything. So when somebody tries to do something wrong with this system, then it messes it up, because it's like, we've been doing this for years and you chosen to do it this way, then it's wrong, which causes problems. Then you got to hear from somebody else, and then somebody else is gonna go to somebody else to tell that person. And then when that person go tell their boss, it's just like a train effect. And then you got to see there are issues and issues and issues. And then when it gets to the point where somebody don't want to deal with you no more, and they like, okay, well, we're gonna part ways because of this. You can't get mad because they try to show you how to do it. Not saying that happened to me. I'm just saying with that situation of folding paper, if you fold the paper freaking wrong, it won't fit. But if you do it the right way, it will. Another example would be, like I said, the YouTube thing. You could get canceled real fast in today's world. And I just feel like sometimes you just gotta hold back, pull it back, read what you say, and then go ahead and vote. Don't just understand who you're dealing with. Understand, and when I say this, understand if the person's gay, straight, is trans, or anything. You have to realize, if you're gonna be defensive about something, you gotta realize, what are you being defensive about? Who are you being defensive to? Because if you're choosing as a influencer, if you're choosing, or a celebrity, if you're choosing to speak on a random person, do your research. Click on their picture and go see what they about. Do they got a lot of subscribers? Can they make an impact? What did they come and look like? Do we got a lot of likes or comments, or did people respond to them? Because that's another thing I feel like people don't realize. Being defensive, you be like, yeah, what up? But you can't be like that all the time. You can't. You just simply can't. Because if you're like that, ready to fight and ready to go, you're going to mess up a lot of blessings in your life. So, if I had to say, for me, what can I do for myself to stop being defensive, is actually just taking the feedback for what everybody got to say. And then respond correctly. Now, sometimes, like I said, you gotta put people in their place. But don't be a hit dog holler, because if you do that, then you gotta deal with the consequences. I mean, that's just facts. Being defensive is just so weird. Like, it's not now I gotta go back and say this. Being defensive is not a good or bad thing. It's just a word. And it can be portrayed in a negative way and in a positive way. So if we're gonna be defensive, I just feel like the advice that I could give to anybody is respect yourself and respect what you live for. Always be yourself. And every video that I have talked about, I'm always talking about be yourself, be true to yourself. Because if you're not, you're going to lose a part of yourself. It could be memories. It could be who you are as a person. You can lose yourself just because you're faking a funk. So if I had to say being defensive, and if you are defensive, if you met somebody, give them the feedback of just listen to me. You don't have to feel like that's you. If I'm wrong, then I looked at you and I assessed the situation in the wrong way. And that's okay. You could tell somebody, and you don't have to be defensive when you're telling them. You could just be like, well, I get what you're saying. But for me personally, I didn't handle it that way. And then you could go. Now, the defensive is defensive. People don't call it what it is. But you can it's just how you handle it. And that's what I'm working on with myself, is handling it in a better way. Because once you can handle it in a better way, then everything will be good. And you should really take that from me. Being a Taurus, I can be very stubborn. And I like to be balanced, and I like to just be on one accord. Me and change, but I've been doing better at it. I've been working on it and just being a better person. So definitely just be true to who you are And do not take every feedback that somebody's saying in a defensive way. Well, not in a negative way. Don't take it in a negative way. Take it in a positive way. And if it's not true, you have the right to speak up. You have the right to tell somebody, you can't tell me that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You have that right. So never feel like anything is taken away from you. Speak up and hold your truth. Being defensive is not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's about positive and negative and what you make of it. But as I always say, thank you for tuning in to this quick, lovely video talking about being defensive. I was a little bit all over the place, but that's what I'm here for. I feel like a conversation is not just one straight line. We're gonna go this way. A conversations deal with this. You're gonna talk about one thing, then you're gonna relate it to another. Then you're gonna talk about this thing, and then you're gonna talk about something. That's just a part of a conversation. And I'm just glad that you have watched this video or supported any of my videos. I'm very aware, let me say that. I'm very aware that I can go off topic sometimes, but I feel like that's the best way, because then you'll be like, oh, this is a real ass individual. But that's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong and anybody can correct me. But as I always say, the emoji of the video will be the muscle. Like, y'all see this? Oh, I got a little muscle. Who is that? If you know who I'm talking about, I think it's like Scotty Too Hotty, I think, from wrestling, when he be like, that's me. But post the emoji with the strong. Also, I can work out a little bit, but post that emoji, which will be right here, whichever one I put it. And that will let me know that you watched the video. And also, have a great day. And don't forget, I am doing that giveaway. So please stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as I always say, peace, love, and blessings. And love you forever. I truly mean it. Peace out.